I'm representative of the four, and we're gonna present about tone and mood of Frankenstein. So we have four members: Rachel, Julie, John, and Vic, which is me. So first of all, first and only questions. How many tones are there in the story you can think of? Anyone volunteer? I'll pick Kelvin. Kel? Just what do you think?
I do not know.
Okay, so the tone is like the attitude of the author. Yeah, and so it can be pessimistic, optimistic. So I'll answer it. So there are 5 tones, which are pessimistic, optimistic, passionate, what else? Suspenseful, and what else? Passionate, suspenseful. Oh, there's 4. Yeah, sorry. So I would present you a graph that, okay, at the beginning, if you can see my arrow. So at the beginning of a story, it's neutral, kind of like a neutral tone, neutral mood. Yeah, because it starts off with a very passionate Victor Frankenstein, and and when it's come to the middle of the story, it's the peak of pessimistic, like terrifying feelings of the doctor, and when he met his friend and he finally escaped from the creature, yeah, he feels super delightful, super optimistic. And when at the end of the story, when his friend asked him, like, can I ask you about a subject? So he was like worried about like what's that subject gonna be like? Is it gonna be about the creatures that he has successfully escaped from? So he started to become more pessimistic. So yeah, first of all, the first tone, passionate. So the story start off with Victor's dedications to his creatures. There's the saying, and so in the story it's have a sentence: I have worked hard for nearly 2 years for the sole purpose of infusing life into an inanimate body. For this, I have deprived myself rest and health. So you can really see how dedicated he was at this point. But then, when the creatures finally came to life, his dream had come true. He started to get, you know, disappointed. Like, but now that I have finished, the beauty of the dream vanished, and the breathless horror and disgust filled my heart. Yeah, very disappointed. And he started to feel disgusting about the creature because it's not what he visualized first. It was ugly then, but when those muscles and joints were rather rendered capable of motion, it became a thing such as even Dante can't have conceived. Dante is an author, a poet, Italian poet. He have a epic poet called Inferno, and in that poet he create hell. So these sayings mean that, okay, the creature is so bad and ugly, and that even is like it's worse than hell. Yeah. And then yes, the creatures approach him, and he start to feel terrified. And then he ran away from his college with suspenseful feeling, like he escaped from his house, and he take refuge in the courtyard in which he inhabited, where he remained the rest of the night. God. And it started to get better when he met Quiver in the next morning. But then when they came back to his college, he started to feel suspenseful again because he wasn't sure if he finally escaped from his creatures or not. He wondered if his creatures still in the house or if it's elsewhere. And finally, relief, the creature is no longer in his place. He finally rests, but then he was worried again because Cleaver asked to tell Victor about a subject that he may not want to hear about. So this is the end of our presentations about the tone and mood of Frankenstein. Thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you so much. What can you say about the presentation? Do you have anything to say before we ask questions?
Amazing.
Amazing. Okay. You get applaud from the audience. Good job. Okay. I'm also very impressed, actually. It's very creative. Okay. Do you have any questions, classmates? Look at their faces. They are all smiling.
Questions anymore?
Okay, so of course, I have a prepared question here for four because your activity is all about the tone and the mood. So now I ask you as a reader, okay? So how does the tone affect the flow of the story, or we can say it plot, and the feelings of the readers of a Gothic novel?
So the tone, for
Mm-hmm.
example, okay, as just like the graph I have shown you before, it's go up and down. So it's create like a thrilling feeling for you, and it's come to different plot. So it's create excitement for the reader. The reader gonna feel curious, like, okay, what's gonna happen next? Like, okay, when I read to the part where Victor Frankenstein feel relief when the creatures isn't in his college anymore. But then at the end of the story, he's worried again because Quiver asked him. So I was like curious of what's gonna happen. But the story ends there, and I just want to know the next plot gonna be like.
Okay, all right. You are curious for the next because of the tone that it created, correct? Okay, very good. So now I want other members of the group to answer this. So this is also about the feeling of Victor as the author inflicted us in the tone of writing. As we know, Victor was very passionate about his work. Okay, in the real world situation, if you are in a big project where you're really vision out to be grand, and then you come to realize that, yeah, just like Victor, it got disappointed. So how would you, as an inventor, as a creator, how would you face, not feel because you already feel disappointed, okay, but how would you face this problem with dignity and pride? as as a student and in grade 12, you have a lot of projects in your head, you have a lot of dreams, but what if in that certain point in your life that you think that it is already a success, but the result is not what you hope for, the result is not what you expected it to turn out? How would you face that?
I'm just wasted. I mean, at the start of the project, I have hobbies that I don't expect too much. So if it come out really bad or fail or something like that, I just like I need to like rest a bit because I have tried so hard for that project. So I think I will have a time that I rest, relax, and then I will fix the mistake or improve the way, because the goal is important. And if the process is not good, so we can change the way and continue doing it. So yeah, I mean,
Uh,
fix it. Mhm. Yeah.
That's a smart way, and maybe you can join Miss Universe home. All right. Any more answers from the group or from the class?
Maybe go through the 5 stage of grief itself.
What are the five stages of grief, Peter? Can you tell?
Denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance.
Okay, all right. And the most important thing I think for me is acceptance, right?
Yeah.
But does it really stop in acceptance? Yeah, what if I already accepted that? What will I do?
You try to fix it, or you just try to forget it, I guess.
Just like Victor, forget about his creation?
Well, it's really based on each people different reaction. If if just maybe I would try to fix it somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe end what I start, or I would really just gonna start to try to run away from it. Not forgetting it, but run away from it.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, class. Thank you, Group 4, for that very entertaining presentation and also a very significant answer.